Hey everyone, this is Luminous coming to you guys with a pro Dota commentary. This commentary is affiliated with DC, and for more commentaries content, check us out on DotaCommentaries.com. This is Game 4 of the series between LGD.sGty and Tyloo, and if you haven't been following the series so far, I recommend you go back and watch my commentary 1, 2, and 3, because I will definitely be spoiling the result of all 3 games, and I will probably make some overarching analysis based on what I've seen from all 4 of these games at the end of this game. So far, walking into this game, the score is 2-2, and if you're wondering how do you get a 2-2 score with only 3 game play, that's because Tyloo walked into the series with a 1-0 advantage because they came from the winner brackets final, so they're 1 up. And then LGD took 2 games, and then Tyloo took 1 of the games as well. So this is the grand final. This is, well, match 5, but really it's match 4. And everything's on the line. This is finals of the CREG. I think I call it GREG or whatever. CREG tournament. I believe this is a big Chinese online tournament, and I think it happens like every 3 months or so, or 4 months or so. So yeah, these are pretty high level games, and you're watching the game 4, and the picks and bans are right underway. We have Tyloo going first. They ban the Invoker, and they're doing their second ban, meanwhile LGD bans the AA. One of the most interesting thing I've saw from the first 3 games before these is that the team that picks a Radiance farmer loses. Of course, there is that game where Doombringer won and he had the Radiance from LGD. There's also that game that Weaver has won from also LGD, and he got a Radiance as well. But the thing is that in those games that they won, the Radiance buyers are more on the offensive. And I don't think they actually picked those heroes with the mindset of, okay, we'll farm the Radiance and win with it. The losing team of every single game, I believe it was Silverbear, played by ZSMJ in game 1, tried to farm a Radiance, got pushed down. I think the second game, it was Silverbear by Seeking, I believe, and he tried to farm Radiance. I don't know, that was right before this. No, it was I think it was Spectre or something by Seeking, and then he tried to farm Radiance, didn't work out. And then the game before this, it was Seeking Silverbear. I apologize, I'm getting all these games a little bit mixed up, but what I'm trying to say is that it feels like the Chinese, when they're picking up a Radiance farmer, they just lose, because the team's playing style is just so aggressive, and teams are trying to win the game so early that 3,800 gold after Vanguard, after Boots of Speed, is just a little bit too late into the game. Of course, if you haven't been watching a lot of Chinese games lately, it's vastly different from the 6-9C, where games are just dragging on from the 50-minute mark to the 60-minute mark to 70-minute mark. But nowadays, games are decided in 20 minutes. And unless you get like an 18-minute Radiance, things are not going to cut it. And unless you're stomping the other team, you're not going to get an 18-minute Radiance. So I'm not too sure whether these are just a big coincidence of the 3 games that I've just casted. I would like to think it's not a coincidence. So it feels like Radiance, if you pick a hero with the mindset, okay, we'll farm to our Radiance, generally you will just lose. At least that's from what I've seen from the Chinese game. So that's my theory for this game. And if any one of these teams picks a Spectre right now, as we see a Bat Rider and a Morphling pick, yeah, if the Scourge picks a Spectre right now, I just don't think they'll win, just based on the first 3 games. Of course, there's a lot of it being based on, how you lane, how you play, whether you get outpicked, where you get, all of it contributes to something to it. But I don't think it's a big coincidence that all the Radiance buyers are losing. Of course, again, there's that Doombringer and there's that Weaver that also bought the Radiance and won. But going back to my previous reasoning, is that I don't think that those 2 heroes were picked with the mindset of, well, we'll farm till we get Radiance. Those are 2 of the killing heroes, if you get what I'm saying. So, but going back to this game, right? Let's look at the pick and ban analysis. We have a Lich opening first, and I have talked about why Lich opening is great. LGD retaliates with Bat Rider and Morphling. I love this 1-2 pick. Not only are you denying the Morphling to Tyloo, but also Bat Rider is a very good counter, or I won't say counter, but he does quite well against Morphling, because if you've been following this series, I've been saying almost in every game how one of the best counters to Morphling is to have a great initiator that does a bulk load of damage. Before he pops a BKB, try to get him down very low and help your teammate to kill him quick. And Bat Rider is one of those heroes to do that. Meanwhile, the Scourge answers back with Spectre and Windrunner. Now, the Spectre, I have spent a couple of minutes already talking about why I don't think that's the best pick in this version. Well, or at least just judging from how the games are progressing so far. And the Windrunner is signature hero of Tyloo, of Super. We're definitely going to see him handling the Windrunner solo mid, and he has one of the most legendary Windrunner. Let's see how he's going to handle against a Bat Rider, I'm presuming. I think Bat Rider and Windrunner kind of does pretty well. I would actually give the advantage to the Bat Rider. Windrun does not give you max move speed. I think that's one of the most often misconcepted idea. Windrunner gives you a percentage increase of your movement speed, but if you have enough sticky napalms on you, that does not matter at all. If you have 10 sticky napalms on you, and that's a very extreme example, if you have 10 stacks of sticky napalms on you and you pop your Windrun, you will actually not go anywhere. So it just depends. Like, Windrun is a good ability to keep you alive from the Bat Rider, but it's not an instant save. So you gotta still be very careful. Now, it looks like Enchantress is banned and Doombringer is banned. I'm not too sure why LGD banned the Doombringer, because they had an insane Doom last game. But maybe they realized, oh, we don't have first pick and we don't want the enemy team to pick up the Doom. So maybe that's the reason. And it looks like Tyloo bans the Shaker here. And I gotta say, that's a very, very bad... I don't know. I think that's the hero they want to pick up. I don't think they would want to ban it. I think they definitely want to pick that hero for a couple of reasons. First, you don't want the enemy team to pick it up. Well, I guess that's kind of the idea why they want to ban it. But they have first picks right after the ban stage, so there's no reason to ban it for that reason. Let's say if Sentinel has a Shaker right now, then it will make killing the Morphling a hell of a job to accomplish, and I don't think that's I think that's why Tyloo's banning it. But they have the first pick after the ban phase, and I think that's a hero you want, because look at the pushing potential of the Sentinel just right now. The Bat Rider pushes pretty hard, not because he has the AoE potential, but because of the secondary. Remember in a couple of commentaries back I said Night Stalker is a great pusher, Clockwork's a great pusher, and Pudge is a great pusher, not because they could clear creeps very quickly, but because they can move past the tower and scare you away. But if you have a Shaker and have the Fisher to kind of scare him back or block him off or anything like that, then you have a great tool of a counter pushing. Of course, this Fisher is just cheese, long range AoE spell does quite a bit of good damage, quite a bit of good stun duration, and it's going to be good against any kind of push. And I'm not too sure why they banned it. So secondly, they have a Chen on the enemy team, and that's going to boost your Echo Slam damage like crazy, as we see Scourge picking up the Venge in this case. And really, like, you only saw 3 picks. You don't know if LGD is going to go hardcore push strat on your ass. And by banning the Shaker, you kind of remove yourself, kind of the last survivability. Yes, we have to see the Brewmother, and now they're probably shooting themselves in the foot of, damn, we really want that Shaker now. If you look at the entire Scourge lineup, what is their AoE defense? 1 power shot. That's it. Like, how are you going to defend against Chen creeps, Spiderlings, and everything? Like, it's not going to be pretty. So meanwhile, like, Tyloo's going to have to finish her pick with a hardcore AoE hero. Twin Head Dragon is what I'm going to. Lina is what I'm going to. But no, they're going to go for Clock, a dual purpose. I like that. It has some AoE. It's not the best. It has some AoE, but it has a crucial initiation. That's going to be good against the Bat Rider. Going to be good against Chen if you can find a hero. It's not going to be good against... sorry, did I say Bat Rider? I mean Morphling, sorry. It's going to be good. It's going to be crucial against Morphling, especially if he could cog the 2 or 3 hero. It's going to make Chain Frost's job a lot easier. Now, I also like LGD's pickup of both Chen and the Brewmother. By picking up both Chen and the Brewmother, you have so many summons, persuaded creeps. That's going to basically nullify Chain Frost. I think Chain Frost is going to be Tyloo's mid-game DPS. Of course, they have Power Shot, they have some Magic Missile, Rocket Flare, and all that. But the biggest damage dealer on Scourge is that Chain Frost. And by picking up Chen, not only do you get the creeps to tank, you get the Spiralings to tank, but you also get Hand of God. So that means that Chain Frost is not going to have an effect at all, in my opinion. So right off the bat, I have to say LGD kind of you know, well, not kind of, vastly outpicked the Sentinel, outpicked the Scourge, and they have a CM aspect. Okay, CM aspect, no big deal. And let's look at how their lane is. They're gonna put the Broodmother atop and the long lane Broodmother, and I believe in I'm not too sure. In game 1, yeah, we had a long lane Broodmother from Scourge. No, from Tyloo. Yeah, from Tyloo against CSMJ Silver. And I mean, he held his lane pretty well. He got a lot of XP, and that's what won them the game. And let's see if LGD could do the same thing here. And let's check out who's been playing what. YYF on the Bat Rider, ZSMJ on the Morphling, 830 on Crystal Maiden, and CH, I'm guessing, yeah, Steffi, CH on Chen. And it looks like we have a big engagement. Yes, we have been seeing more and more of this warding the Magic Bush and trying to prevent the you know, the jungling of the Chen. And let's see how Chen is gonna affect this. Is he gonna get a quick Sentry Ward and counter it, or is he gonna kind of play like the Enchantress in that, I think, 2 games ago, where she kind of countered a little bit too late and rendered her hero basically useless. I think she spent most of the game jungling and didn't do too much of anything else. Looks like, yes, we do see the Vengeful Spirit also warding off this camp. So you see the entire Sentinel jungle just completely blocked off. But Chen, he's like, you know, I kind of expect that already. I'm going to jungle here at the high level camp. And look at this item. He has a Ring of Haste and a Smoke of Deceit. Now, Smoke of Deceit first item is not all uncommon. We see you know, heroes doing that fairly frequently. But I really like it on this Chen because he's gonna grab a creep, and he's not only gonna speed his allies in, but also his creep. And with the Crystal Maiden's Nova, you can actually get a Centaur close enough or a Furball close enough for a clap, and that's gonna be huge in terms of initiating on either the bot lane or the mid lane. And I think that's gonna be his ganking target. He grabs the Tornado Creep, and that's not going to be anything. And yes, we have seen this in game 1 as well. Whenever LGD plays Chen, they pick up the Crystal Maiden and just jungle together. Now that will give them 3 solo, as we see Avenge hasting mid. I think Bat Rider does know. Yeah, they definitely do know. They have the wards down. Yeah, we have seen it in game 1 as well, where they did dual jungles. It didn't work out as well because yeah, it's all coming back to me now. In game 1, ZSMJ had a Silver at the bot lane. Now he's playing the Morphling. But what he was up against was a Broodmother. Broodmother smartly basically kill all the trees on the left side, and that meant that the Broodmother always saw if the Crystal Maiden was coming in, or if the Broodmother or if the Chen is coming in. And because of this passive speed under the web, the Broodmother was not ganked at all. In this case, it's a little bit different. Sure, the Scourge team does have the wards right now, but those wards don't see quite a lot. Like, this ward won't see that the entire Scourge team Sentinel's team is coming in right now. So they don't have the vision that Broodmother had in game 1. And I think with this, Scourge can gank a lot more successfully. It looks like the ganking train of the Sentinel is coming in just to do a little bit harass. Looks like they're going to do a little mini push. They do have quite a bit of creeps. And yeah, there's that Tornado. We're going to see a Nova pretty soon. And the Morphling might even wait for a minute. No, ZSM is just doing a good job lasting. Yeah, there's that Nova. And just doing a lot of damage on the tower. This is not meant to be, you know, we'll take a tower right now. But doing some pretty good damage so far into the game. I like that. It shows some aggression from LGD, and I think that's exactly what they need. Of course, Morphling should have finished that Ring of Haste. He's going to get it right now. You really need a Ring of Haste. No, he actually picks up a Magic Stick instead. Very interesting. I'm guessing that I guess that's his ploy to survival. Picking up the Magic Stick, saying that, well, we have quite a bit of nukes coming in from the other. I'm not too sure whether that was the best choice. Well, I guess. I don't know. We'll see how it plays out. Crystal Maiden, and yes, Chen is counter warding right now, and that's pretty big. He actually took a pot shot on his own Walken. But yeah, now the entire Scourge team is playing blind. Like, they are already playing pretty blind, but that Magic Bush ward would have at least seen the Chen coming in the general direction. Now they don't know what's going on in the enemy jungle, and having a Smoke of Deceit like this is going to be absolutely huge. Well, of course, you know, the Smoke of Deceit doesn't help the fact that they hide themselves because they don't have wards anyways. The Scourge doesn't have sight anyways. But the Smoke of Deceit will also give them the speed increase, and that's going to be big. And it looks like they're going to be using it right now for mid gank. They only have a Tornado. I don't think that Tornado even has like, the Tornado is still on cooldown. Looks like Bat Rider might be going in. There's a couple charge on the Windrunner. 6 charge on the Windrunner. You can see, oh, Windrunner's got 7 charge on the Windrunner. There's no way you see that she's using Windrunner, but she's not actually going nowhere. 8 charge on the Windrunner, and it looks like Windrunner is going to go down. YYF picks up a very easy first blood. Chen very, very low, but no big deal. He's going to be fine. And that is the that play seemed a little bit standard and cookie cutter, and it didn't seem hard at all. But I think it was multiple factors. First, it was good counter warding from Chen in terms of completely blocking off the site from the Scourge, but also that Smoke of Deceit purchase finally being paid off, because you know the enemy team will have a Smoke of Purchase, but there's really Smoke of Deceit use, but there's really nothing you could do about it because the speed increase is just a little bit too much, and you can't always tower hug. If you tower hug, then the Bat Rider is gonna just win the lane completely. So in any case, it's kind of a lose-lose situation, just due to the good warding or counter warding from Chen. Let's look at how ZSMJ is doing. ZSMJ hasn't got his trialing help, and he's only got 3 creep kills. And I guess that's why he picked up the magic stick. He's like, dude, I'm not gonna get up my Sobi mask at all. So you know, just get what I can right now. The magic stick is the cheapest form of survivability that he pick up for 200 gold. So I guess in hindsight that is a pretty good choice. I didn't notice how bad he was farming. And Spectre on the other hand has 19 and 10. He's creep equilibrium like crazy, and that's because he has a Lich on his as his ally. Of course you would be able to creep equilibrium like crazy if you have a Lich, and Lich is just denying like crazy. And all the 3 supports or 2 supports on the tri-lane, they're fairly high level compared to the Sentinel supports. Of course Sentinel support did get that first blood EXP, and looks like they're gonna make a go here. They have yet another smoke purchase. Are they gonna use it? No, these 2 guys are shopping in a secret shop, and I think that's gonna be bad. And yeah, this Spectre might be going down. They're gonna wait for him for the Spectre. Spectre buys the TB. He's trying to TB out. Can he make it? Is there a Frostbite? Oh, Frostbite! And wow, that was the last hit. Good Test of Faith and Frostbite. And it looks like LGD.sGty picks up yet another kill. Meanwhile, the Magic Missile angrily goes on the Centaur for a kind of a count. Yeah. He's like, bitch, get off my support. Get off my carry. Yeah, so far very good roaming from LGD, and now it looks pretty good in terms of comparison to game 1. This Chen and CM combo didn't work out at all, and I think that was due to the good play of that Broodmother player by basically killing all these trees and having the sight into the jungle. But now the Scourge is playing it completely blind. They are just not dealing with it. Now ZSMJ finally gets some creep kills. I don't think he's really worried about creep kills right now, and I'm not worried if I'm LGD right now at all. I think that, remember that, well, a lot of you guys haven't seen that game, but the game where ZSMJ farmed up 720 creep kills, yeah, he spent the first like 8 to 10 minutes of that game not farming anything at all, and that makes his farming endeavors like even more impressive. Like, he spent the first 10 minutes unable to farm because I think he was up against a tri-lane, or he was up against a very difficult, as we see a Bat Rider dive on the mid lane. He just dies to the tower, but no, the skanking squad of Sentinel is coming in. Let's see if Windrunner is going to make it a lot. Tower focus on Crystal Maiden. Crystal Maiden taking so much damage. Windrunner turns around for a power shot, trading himself a dual kill. Now Chen is on the rampage. They are going to get the Lich as well. So at 2 for 2, I guess the Sentinel came out a little bit ahead of that because the Chen got like a lot of EXP. You can see that Chen is already hitting level 5. So that's going to be crucial. We would never see a Chen getting so much early EXP because Chen generally just roams in the jungle and kind of dies a lot. He tries to gank, doesn't get a lot of done. That's the typical Chen play. But this game, he got 2 successful ganks in. He's going to hit level 5. That means the second creep. As you see, Bat Rider going for the Spectre at the bot lane. And there's 4 charge on his magic stick, but I don't think that's enough charge for him to save. Let's see if ZSMJ can take the last hit. No, looks like he's not. Oh, he is. ZSMJ picks up the last hit. He needs to be careful. He does have Morph. Not much mana left, though. Windrunner got to be careful as well, because Bat Rider can turn around and use a Flaming Lasso on her. Nope, they're going to just call it back. So meanwhile, in the mid lane, 2 support just getting some EXP. You don't hit me, I don't hit you. I think in this phase, it's going to help out the Crystal Maiden a lot more. Crystal Maiden has level 2 Brilliance Aura. That means, let me check out. I think Crystal Maiden is going to max Nova by 7. I think that's the case. Let's see if he's going to be doing so. I hope that's the case because that's a very offensive Crystal Maiden build. And it looks like LGD Steffi Chris Buck has picked up yet another kill on the bot lane thanks to a dive from the Bat Rider and the Chen. Man, LGD is just off to a good ganking, and they're not going to stop. Crystal Maiden picks up a Haste Rune, and Broodmother doing the harass necessary to bring Clockwork low enough, and they are going to make a go. There's that Insatiable Bite, Insatiable Hunger. Crystal Maiden drops the Nova, drops the Freeze Bite, and they're going to pick it off. No, Clock hooks in, but there's a Haste Rune on the Crystal Maiden. LGD.830 picks up yet another kill. The supports of Sentinel are just filthy rich right now. Bat Rider journeys back to the mid lane. He's level 7. Let's check out how Windrunner is doing on the EXP. Windrunner is back in base. He's only level 6. So through the great ganking, 7-2 in favor of the Sentinel. And Crystal Maiden has an Invis-Rune. Let's see if they can get anything done. Bat Rider is going to get some jizz going on. And looks like they're going to make a go on the Crystal Maiden, on the Venge. Venge taking so much damage. Venge is going to go down, but Bat Rider might be in trouble. No, Hand of God. And that is the benefit of having a very highly leveled Chen in the very early stage of the game. And it looks like he jukes a power shot as well. Well done by Bad Rider. 830 is just picking up so many kills right now, and he needs to be careful because the next time he dies, he's going to give out a pretty high streak of a kill count. Meanwhile, the bottom lane, because his teammate is doing so well, ZSMJ now has a couple of creep kills under his name, and he nice trick. I talked about this in my commentaries before. Because you have a magic bottle, you go back, heal a little bit, fill up your bottle, and then replicate back immediately. So now he's back in base. He back in the lane, even though his mana is not full, but because he has a magic bottle, because he has Crystal Maiden, he's gonna be fine in terms of regenerating that mana. And now Lich is forced to stay the mid lane because right now the advantage of a Bad Rider is just so high. Crystal Maiden. The Windrunner can't stay it by herself. You can see the Windrunner is just staying so far back, can't go up because the Bat Rider has such a big bulk of EXP ahead. And look at Bat Rider's item, already 1k HP compared to Windrunner. Windrunner does have a phase boot. I like that. Such an early purchase on the phase boot is going to help him a little bit when the Bat Rider runs on you. But I think they're forced to have the Lich partially to mid lane because they feel like once the Bat Rider jumps on the Windrunner, they need every bit of nuke and slow on the Bat that they could get on. Checking just on the farm on the top lane here, 43 and 17 on the Brewmother, and I'm pretty sure there's a lot of neutral creeps I'm not taking care of. But 40 on the Clock as well, so Clock not doing a bad job in terms of staying in the lane against the Brewmother. But I mean, I don't think a Clock is gonna turn the game around. I mean, Clog is one of those very devastating hero. Looks like we're going to have a dive attempt on the bot lane. Who are they going to focus? They should focus on Avenge, and they are focusing on Avenge. Good clap. Can they get a return kill on ZSMJ, though? ZSMJ is morphing everything the same. There's that TP coming in, and looks like, yes, we're going to have a Click Hawk in there. There's that Hand of God once again. Morphling is going to get out fine. Now, Spectre might be in trouble. No, Spectre is going to be fine as well. No, Clock comes back in. Can he get a kill on? No, he's not going to get a kill on anything. And now with that teleportation of Clock coming in to the bot lane, we're going to have a free lane to push for Tron. Tron is just basically waiting for this. And you can see that I think this game is so far won by the Crystal Maiden and Chen. Crystal Maiden and Chen has just been ganking non-stop in every single lane. And right now the byproduct of that is the Clockwork teleporting to bot lane, and now Brewmother pushing on top. Brewmother is going to claim the first tower for the Sentinel. Meanwhile, we're going to have yet another dive at the bot lane. The Spectre extremely low HP. He's at half HP already. Morphling having yet another mana for waveform. 3 centaurs coming in from the Chen, and they're going to get this tower pushed down very easily if they choose to do so, and then they're going to turn back. I guess that's fine. There's no rush because Brewmother at the top lane is just doing so much pressure. Windrunner is going to try to walk in the lane. That means the mid lane and the bot lane is going to just be weakened a lot more. Tower goes down to ZSMJ at bot. And this is the power of the Brewmother, and this is why Brewmother's banned, and this is why Brewmother's picked. In Game 1, I think Tyloo's Brewmother did the exact same thing. His support did an excellent job of winning on the other side of the map, and that forced LGD to teleport around to help out in the other lane, and the Brewmother is like, okay, you're not in my lane, I'll just push non-stop. And this is exactly what what LGD is doing as well. So, I mean, the game plan is simple. Have your gankers, have your roamers, just put up so much pressure, win the game in some lanes, and then have your carries, have your pushers to do their job once they're trying to help you out. Once they're trying to help out against those supports. So right now this game plan for LGD is just working marvelously. You can see that ZSMJ still doesn't have that many creep kills. In fact, by comparison, the Spectre has a lot more creep kill than the Morphling. But just ask yourself, do you feel like the LGD team has the advantage, or do you feel like the Scourge team has the advantage? I think hands down a lot of players would say that Scourge team has the advantage. Never mind the farm. Dota is not about farming, and I can't believe I'm saying that in a Chinese game. Dota is not about farming. It's about towers, it's about experience, and it's about claiming kills, and they're doing a relatively good job in doing all of them, and I'm talking about LGD, of course. Brewmother getting so much EXP on the top lane. She has a Soul Ring, and a poor man's shield. I'm not too sure what she's gonna be going first as her core item. I would venture BKB would be a great guess, a great item to get. I don't think Orchid's would be a good item in this game, because who are you gonna Orchid really? You could Orchid the Lich, and that's gonna be pretty good, or Orchid the Venge. There's not many really high priority target. Like if they had a Shaker, or if they had a Stormster or a Necrolite, I think the Orchid would be great in this case. But I think this game you want the BKB because you could block the Chain Frost. Again, the highest DPS nuke from the Sentinel or from the Scourge in the mid game is gonna be that Chain Frost. If you could be invulnerable to that Chain Frost, you're gonna be completely fine relying on your lifesteal. It looks like we have so many smoked hero here, and they're gonna go for a kill. Let's see if they get any Spectre. Might be in trouble. Nova again, very long range. There's that Nova. Well, great swap, but that Blink Dagger Barrier comes in. Venge is gonna melt immediately. That Chain Frost doing absolutely nothing through the Chen's creep. Are we gonna have a global of the Chen? Chen is Shackle Shot. Those Centaurs are stopping Nasa. There's a Mecha Charge already. Holy Knight is like holy crap rich, and looks like the Morphling might be in Morphling is necessarily, he's gonna get hooked. He might be in trouble. Is he gonna replicate out? Yes, he replicates out. He's fine. It looks like Clock might be in trouble as well. So trading all of that big battle for one kill, which is fine, because look at what Tron is doing, right? It's just pressuring your lane. Like, you know what, you guys fight here, and I'll just push. No big deal. And let me see Tron, what he's at. He has to have something in the circle. Yeah, he has a Myrtle Hammer. I think this is his Myrtle Hammer. Yeah, it should be it. I don't think that's... It could be ZSMJ. If ZSMJ decides to go BKB as well, it wouldn't be a bad choice. Let me check how ZSMJ has 1k go in the bank. But he has he has no farm. Yeah, he's only got 40 crypto. That's probably not his Myrtle Hammer. So I'm guessing this is Tron's. Tron has 76 creep kill. Let me see how many neutrals he has. He has 15 neutral as well, so he's pretty farm. I'm guessing, yeah, he is going to go PKB first, and that's going to be excellent against the Chain Frost. You basically make the Windrunner absolutely useless so far in the game, and guess what? The Spectre is going to be useless as well. In one of my previous commentary, I talk about how the Spectre is a kind of an AoE DPS machine. Like, once he pops his ult, the Radiance is going to be doing the bulk of the damage. Sure, he has Desolate, but in a big team fight, you're not going to be using that. The Desolate is not going to be active a lot of time. So his right click is not going to hurt you that much. I'm talking about Spectres. And the Radiance burn damage is definitely not going to hurt you that much. At least not as a single target nuke, right? So in that essence, the Spectre is a very AoE heavy hero, and really against a BKB Brood, like that's merely a scratch on one of her spidery legs. So I think BKB in this game is gonna make her invulnerable and gonna win LGD's mid game. Like once the Broodmother pops the BKB and just runs at you, there's absolutely nothing you could do. I guess you could swap it, but that doesn't solve the problem, right? We're gonna have a 4 or 5 man gang going on the Morphling. Let's see if Morphling can survive through this. Morphling right now has the treads on in. I'll talk about it in just a bit. Let's see. I'm sensing a gank right now. We have 5 here. Yeah, we have 5 here. The Clocks here, the Vengeance here. They need every bit of stun they could get. It looks like the Sentinel gang or Scourge ganking party is going back to the mid lane for now. And I'm gonna talk about this in treads. And I mean, okay, don't get me wrong here. ZSMJ 200 times better than me as a farming player. No, it looks like they're gonna make a ganking attempt on ZSMJ, and yeah, that's 5. That's 5. Are they gonna swap? There's a waveform out with Clock. Clock hooks in, and he's gonna grab it. Now we're gonna see Magical Missile. We're gonna see a swap if necessary. Yeah, there's just so many nukes on him, and finally they do pick off the Morphling. But that's a 5-on-1 gank. That's a 5-on-1 gank. Guess what Broodmother is doing? Oh, doing the same thing she always does, pushing one of your lanes. And then now Batrider pushing the lane as well. Batrider is going to journey top with the Blink Dagger. And I think whoever, yeah, Windrunner here is not long for life. They don't have a ward that will sense the Broodmother coming. Maybe just through good map awareness. No, I don't think. Now there's that Spectre haunts into the Batrider. I think he was escaping a gank on the bot lane, but no, Spectre might be going down. But Spectre running very quickly. There's a swap. Good recognition from the Scourge team. That is going to save the Spectre. But I think in return, Venge is going to die. But I guess that's a trade that you will always want, a Spectre for a Venge, right? Broodmother is going to be fine. Broodmother, I like what she's doing. She's not revealing her item. Look at her inventory. No Myrtle Hammer, no Ogre. She's not revealing what you get. Of course, I think the Scourge team, Scourge heroes are expecting a BKB as well. But you know what? Hide your item if you need to. There's no reason to, reveal what you're going to be going for. And I think she does have her BKB finished. Let me check where the Crow is. Yeah, there's the Ogre Axe and the Myrtle Hammer already on the Broodmother. Broodmother is doing an excellent job right now. They're going to try to make a gank. Hook misses on the Brood, and that's going to be the end of that. Meanwhile, at the bot lane, Chen and Crystal Maiden getting their push on. You can see slowly but surely the pressure from LGD on all lanes is just making Tyloo look like they're headless chicken. They don't know what to do. I have to defend top because Broodmother's there. I have to defend mid because Storm or not Storm, Morphling's there, and because I'm defending so many plays, Chen and Crystal Maiden just push down a tower. It's just you don't know what to do. And guess what I said in the beginning commentary? When you pick a Radiance carry and try to farm that Relic, it's just so hard because these guys, when we see you pick your Spectre, when we see you pick your Celeber, we'll just go push on you. And there's just not much you could do because those heroes are not innately good in terms of defending. Unless you pick an entire defensive squad around them, it's not going to work out. And even if you pick an entirely defensive squad, if you pick out so many AoE heroes, you're going to be losing in the laning phase. I think that's what LGD kind of shot themselves in the foot in game 1, where they picked such a good defending squad, picked up such a good pushing squad. They just lost the laning phase. Tyloo just kind of walked all over them. So what I'm trying to say with this long-winded explanation is that by picking a Spectre first, or picking a Celeber, or picking, like, I guess Celeber and Spectre, where you try to farm that Radiance and try to win the game that way, it doesn't work out. At least in my opinion, it doesn't work out as well as just going with a Morphling Broodmother strat, I guess. Or just Morphling in general. Morphling is such a versatile hero. In these series alone, we saw Morphling BKB if he needed it. We saw Morphling go Scotty in the late game if he needed it. I still think Manta Style is a pretty good choice, and I'm a little bit surprised why these Chinese player hasn't been doing that. We're gonna have a Roshan attempt from LGD. LGD so far has claimed all six exterior towers being claimed by LGD. And Tyloo has claimed 0 towers, and that's been a repeating pattern. The team that's picking the Radiance carry has claimed like 0 tower. I think the mindset of a Radiance carry is like, you know what, we're fine. We'll beat you guys late. We'll just try to turtle up, try to anchor up. No problem. Once we pick up a Radiance, we'll make a good mid-game comeback. But it just hasn't. It just has not happened so far. I'm not too sure. Again, I'm not too sure whether these are just a big coincidence or it's just the way it works out. I don't know. I'll let you be the judge of that. But now with this Roshan down, I think the Sentinel is going to put it on the Morphling. Morphling has an ultimate orb. I would guess it's a Manta Style. In fact, if this is in my position, I would pick up the Manta Style. But Chinese love their Scotty, and I think that's what they're going to be getting instead. Looks like the entire Scourge team is coming around, and Sentinel still need to be a little bit careful, even though they're really ahead. The score is 12-3. They need to be careful in fighting the jungle because Chain Frost will hurt, and that Chain Frost activates, and oh my god, Chen is going to melt. He pops the Hand of God, but he is still going to die. Bad Rider, Flaming Lasso, Windrunner, but he might be dead as well. Looks like we have Windrunner maybe in trouble, standing on the fire. Crystal Maiden drops the ult, and that's nothing canceling the ult. There's the hands of ult finally canceled. We might a shackle shot off the Spiderling, but the Broodmother on the Spectre. Spectre trying to run out, but there's no way you're gonna run from the Morphling waveform. Morphling waves in, a couple more hits on that Spectre. Spectre gets replicated and goes down as well. Meanwhile, Broodmother chasing the Venge. Venge is gonna be fine. But yeah, there's that BKB finish on the Broodmother. Use that in the last team fight. But at the beginning of team fight, I think LGD got a little bit of cocky there. I'm sure they still won that team fight very handily. The Broodmother and the Spectre survived, and the Spectre didn't. Sure, they still won the team fight, but I think that was... It's not the best team fight they could have taken. You gotta be always very, very careful fighting in a jungle like that where there's nothing around except your heroes, and that Chain Frost will just hurt so much. As we see a hook, long range hook going in. Oh, ZSMJ just morphing everything to strength. I think he got down to like 1 HP at one point, but wow, that was a quick save. I think it was a magic wand, and then completely morphing everything to save. Dude, that was so close. But now the score is 14-5 with 6 towers up on Sentinel, and I mean, I don't need to tell you guys, this is yet another stomp game, and I don't know why is it it's just so stomp. In this entire series, you can see that Tyloo was able to stomp on LGD. LGD was able to stomp on SG. Sorry, Tyloo stomp on LGD, LGD stomp on Tyloo. So it just makes me think it's not the player's skills, because they're both capable of beating each other. So what that means, it's just the picks. And when you talk about the picks, it goes back to my Radiance theory, and then also in this game specifically, I think it goes back to not having a Shaker. I think instead of having a Shaker right now, or instead of having that Venge, if they had Shaker, that would have just been great in terms of. I'm not saying that we'll just be a lot better off, but I think they'll be a little bit better off in terms of defending a tower. The Fissure is going to be effective because Fissure is a huge AoE spell that adds up. Also in those team fight encounters where they just fought in the jungle, the Fissure, good for blocking off hero, good for doing so much more AoE damage than Avenge. I think the reason they were forced to pick up the Avenge is that they realized they're going to be needing the Clockwork. Just like, you know what, we need the Clockwork to initiate against the Morphling, but if they have the Avenge as well, then it's not going to be good. So I think if they banned the Avenge instead and picked up the Shaker, that would have been, you know, pretty good. And I think I spent the first 3 commentaries talking about how I never see Tyloo make a mistake. Yeah, this is a game where I'll say Tyloo is making mistakes, both in the picking stage and both in some of the laning as well. BKB and Blink Dagger initiation on the Windrunner. Windrunner is going to try to Windrun out, I think. Is there going to be a swap trying to save him? Oh, they wasted a couple they wasted 2 and a BKB charge on the Windrunner, and LG didn't get anything done, and that was pretty good. But no, Morphling waves in. Morphling... What is he going for? He still has an ultimate. Let me see what his gold is in the bank. He has 2,500 gold. I think he's going to be going for Scotty. If he's going to go for Yasha or Manta, he would have had it right now. Or they would have had a Yasha on him right now. So I think he is going to go for Scotty, which, I mean, strategically, it doesn't make a lot of sense. Because right now, it seems like LGD is trying to finish the game, trying to get a tower, trying to get a Rax. But if you're trying to get the towers and Rax, I think Manta is going to be infinitely better as we see a great hook coming in. But Crystal Maiden, is he going to die? The healing is just going to be insane. She survived long enough to put this clock in the middle danger. No, it's going to be fun. Chain Frost bouncing again like crazy. Vengeance is going to go down. ZSMJ picks up the kill there, and they're going to go for Lich. They're going to go for clock instead. There's going to be a waveform and a couple hits, and they are going to pick him off. Meanwhile, Morphling might be in trouble, though. No, Windrunner is trouble as well. There's that clap on the Windrunner. Windrunner is going to go down. Great chase from, I think that was Trista. Yes, Crazebuck doing a good job in terms of microing, and a big team fight, stunning for the longest duration, even amongst all the, you know, chaos and everything. Clockwork buys back and tries to defend. I don't think they can defend this at all, as we see, oh, Clock comes in, Morphling waves out, and they're going to be fine. My frame rate is suffering completely right now. They do defend for now, but LGD, not LGD, the Clock wastes a buyback here. And, you know, that's not going to help in this long long endeavor. 109 creeps on the Spectre. I would venture that's the highest farm in the game. Let me check. No, it looks like Chuan has the highest farm. I mean, 109 in 25 minutes, that's not the best farm. That's like 4 something in a minute. But he does have, or she does have 3,300 gold in the bank. But again, it's a very familiar scenario. It's like, oh, you know, they're knocking on our Raxus, they're knocking on our doorstep, and I'm a couple hundred golds from my relic. I'm a couple hundred gold from that Radiance recipe. It's the same. It's the same thing. It happens every game, at least in this series. And I'm not too sure whether that's, again, it's a reoccurring theme, or, you know, it's I'm guessing it's the picks. It has to be the picks. So, like I said, both LGD and Tyloo are capable teams, are beating each other. So I think the picks is what determines all. I mean, my frame rate just, I might have to pause if it keeps being like this. Hopefully it will get a little bit better. I think my hardware is okay. For my computer, it's a little bit warm. It's a little bit warm. Okay, for everyone watching live, I'm gonna pause at the 38-minute mark at the elapsed timer. So I'm gonna just let my computer rest a little bit, see what the hell's going on. But and let's look at item on the Sentinel. We have a Vlad's picked up. We have a Django. We have yet another Django on the Crystal Maiden, Blink Dagger, and looks like Bad Rider is gonna go for BKB. And looks like I'm not gonna pause at 38 because my computer now thought I was gonna pause, and they're gonna be fine. And we have a Scotty completed on the Morphling. And man, this tower is not long for life. They are doing a valiant job in terms of defending. Clockwork Cluster Rockets, or not Cluster Rocket Flare coming in. That power shot used whenever it's off cooldown. They do kill the Spiderlings. They do kill the Chen creeps. So they're defending for now. But it's a matter of time before that Morphling just waveforms in and just go to town. Tower's gonna be going down. Yeah, tower's gonna go down to Broodmother most likely. Yeah, Broodmother picks up tower, and now it's gonna be just a daunting job for the Scourge team to defend this. And LG decides to push in a very good time, forcing the Spectre to defend on the bot lane. But Spectre can't haunt in though, so don't forget about that. It's just a matter of, you know, like Shaker would just been excellent over here. Oh, why Shaker, like he could just walk up, you know, ult Fissure, just rape this entire pushing squad. I mean, why'd you ban Shaker? I'm so confused. And now they're just hitting the Rax. Rax already half HP. Scourge team have to make a stand here. We have to see a Chain Frost. We have to see that ult from the Spectre. Spectre does not have the relic yet. What's his gold? He has 4K gold in the bank. He has... Where else the crow? Is the crow? The crow's flying there. The crow is trying to fly there. Let's see if the sentinel can snipe this. Yes, the crow is trying to fly to the secret shop. Oh, 830 notice. 830 is trying to chase. 830's. Oh, yeah, it's fine. It's fine. But no, they're gonna go for Rax instead. Rax already at. Oh my God, Rax is gonna go down. And I think, I mean, yeah, there's that BKB. There's that BKB bat as well. There's that Morphling coming in. Hand of God. Chain Frost is bouncing like crazy though. Are they gonna get a couple kills? I think Bat might be going down. Bat is going to go down. Clock, I think, went down as well. Chen might be going down as well. But I think, the ultimate winner of this game is going to be the Sentinel. As we see Chan picks up a double kill. The Scotty on the Morphling is, like, he's not doing a significant amount of damage, but he's slowing everything down. And that counts against a Spectre, against a Windrunner. Now we see everyone pushing on the bot lane. Orchid is finished on the Broodmother. Again, Orchid... not so much for the silence, but more so for the mono region, attack speed, and the amplified damage. At least in this case, there's not many good targeted silence. But again, I mean, it's a good transition for the Broodmother, and they're gonna pick down the bot Rax as well. And now even there's that silence on the Windrunner, and that's gonna prevent her to windrun. ZSMJ gets a mega kill. You can see that ZSMJ right now farm, not impressive at all. 94 creep kills in 30 minutes, like. If I haven't told you this is the SMJ, you might have thought this is like a DC in-house replay, but in that, like, you can look at his farm and look at his creep kill. He has 94 creep kills, but he has a Scotty. So it's all about pushing and getting those big items, and not about turtling and getting that radiance. At least in the current meta game, after casting 10 or so Chinese game, that's how I feel like it's been transitioned. I mean, I haven't count, so I can't say for sure. But if you go back to all my commentaries of the 6.71B map and count how many times a Radiance farmer like a what the hell is ZSMJ doing? ZSMJ is gonna be fine. He might eat a hook though. No, he dodges. Like, okay, yeah, just go back to all my commentaries and count how many times a Spectre has won, and maybe how many times a Celebear has won. I would think it's a very, very small number compared to Morphling, compared to a Weaver. Again, some of you guys might say, well, don't Weaver go Radiance? But I think when Weaver buys a Radiance, at least in the Chinese game, they don't use a Weaver to farm for it, at least not most of the time. They use the Weaver to do a lot of swarm ganks. They Sakuchi under. Like, the Weaver actually takes a big part in terms of the active pushing, active ganking, active diving. Like, the Spectre does a lot. I mean, Spectre, the Weaver does a lot of fighting instead of just sitting back and farming like a Celebear or like a Spectre would. So, I just don't think the Radiance way to go, the Radiance route to victory is a good one. And I'm sure, like 45 minutes into the commentaries, I have really said that enough. But it's just it's a big revelation that I just thought of right now, and I just want to share with you guys. And now we have a lifesteal completed on ZSMJ, and they're gonna just look to get this top racks. I mean, they could wait a couple of minutes to get even more pressure on the mid lane. Looks like they are getting enough pressure right now. Spectre does have that Radiance finish, and let's see. I mean, you spend 31 minutes farming for that. Let's see what it will do for you. Not much is my guess, not much, because we have BKB Orchids, we have Scotty Lifesteal, the Bat Rider have a Blink BKB as well. Crystal Maiden has, Phase Boots, Point Booster, Urn, and a Jenga. Holy crap, that Crystal Maiden stacked. Chen has Vlad's, Mega, and Urn. I mean, there you go. Initiation on the Windrunner. Windrunner is gonna go down before she does anything. BK Brew going to town on that Venge. So that's 2 down, and Spectre uses ult but dies, and that's all she wrote. That's 3 wins for LGD. 1 win for Tyloo, and LGD took this. They are the official champions of the C-League. C-Creeg. It's not a dramatic victory at all. This is not some like MYMVP game, but I think a reason for the boringness of these games is that one team always goes for that Spectre carry, Radiance, Celebear carry. It ain't pretty. Maybe because the Chinese has figured out how to beat it, which is pick a jungler I think either Enchantress or Chen has been picked every single game, and I think if Enchantress or Chen weren't picked, Enigma would take the place, Fairyon would take the place. They would take the jungler that could push, take a jungler that could gank, and they would just do that. And I think that's the way to beat a Radiant Scary. Whereas Morphling, Weaver, they're kind of the harder thing to beat. You kind of have to rely on a Storm Spirit or something like that. You have to rely on a Bat Rider or something like that to kind of initiate on these guys and try to kill them that way. But for the most part, these games have been just decided, in my opinion, just through the pick stage alone. It wasn't like, I think it was only game 2 where LG kind of slipped up, and Scourge team had like a ray of hope in terms of coming back in the game. But even in that game, it was relatively clear who's going to win the game just based on the picks alone. So, again, it goes back to a question where I asked him back in game 2. Is it a little bit boring? I don't know. Again, in StarCraft and in Warcraft, you don't know what strat is going to be played until they surprise you with it. Until those carriers showed up, until those, like, 2B series raiders shows up in your base. You don't know. But here, 5 minutes in the game, you have a good indication of, hey, Scourge looks like, they're going to win because they have pretty good picks, or Sense going to look like they're going to win. They have pretty good picks. So, I don't know. Is that the flaw in the game, or is that a part of the game where we should learn to enjoy? I don't know. It's a very interesting point, and I'll let you guys, give me comments on that. So, that is the conclusion of the entire series. Probably not the best game, and in turn my commentaries are probably not as top notch as I would like them to be. So not only give me feedback in this game in particular, but also if you want to see more series like these where I just cast the entire series and look for game to game transitions and look to game analysis, and hopefully I could give an overarching analysis like I kind of did with this game. So yeah, give me feedback on those. I don't have pretty much a lot to say about this game because, I mean, you guys pretty much saw it with your own eyes. It was those good. I still think that counter ward bought by Chen just turned the game entire around. Basically he claimed the entire Sentinel jungle for himself, was able to gank mid and bot lane undetected, and that's kind of what won the Sentinel 2 lanes. And that they forced the clock to come down from the top lane, and then Chuan just like, okay, you help out, I push, as simple as that. So it was the ganking party of that Chen and Crystal Maiden that won the game. Again, I always give credit to the support, man, because I really think they turned this game completely around. So not much else to say. Give me some constructive feedback on the entire series, on this game, and whatnot. So that's it from me. Hope you guys enjoyed this game and the entire series as well, and I'll come back for even more commentaries. This is Luminous signing off. GG guys.